Then,
Okay.
so when's our next session?
Normally I prefer if we have session Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Okay,
Just
let's
do the last one and send it for me.
okay. All right, so this one is going to be squaring both sides. With squaring both sides, the first thing that we need, we want the square root to be on its own, standing by itself on the left-hand side or right-hand side. This one is already on its own. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know it's saying 10 minutes. We will finish this one. Don't worry. So I've got square root of 2 into 1 minus x. And then equals to x minus the 1. That is the original question. Then I'm going to put it again. So there is the original question, because from here, from the original, I must separate the square root. Well, it's already separated. Then we square both sides. You put the left-hand side, all of it in the bracket. Then you square like that. You also do it the other side. You square that one. That's why they call it squaring both sides.
Both sides.
Yeah. Remember, you'll have two pairs of brackets, one pair on the left, one pair on the right. It can never be more than that. So you can't do this. You cannot take x alone, you square it, and then you square the minus 1. It will be wrong. All right.
Okay.
So one pair on the left, one pair on the right. Now, that power of 2 will get rid of the square root. That 2 deletes, it gets rid of that square root. That's what it does. So which means, yeah, now you're getting, so on the left, you're left with 2, open bracket, 1 minus the x equals 2. Now this one is what we call FOIL method. You guys, maybe for now, just to remind you, that means you'll be writing it twice as x minus 1 because it's squared, and then x minus 1. And then what you will want to do is to say the x times the x. So you've got x squared, you've got x times the minus 1, then it's a minus x. Then you've got minus 1 times the x, it's a minus x. You've got a minus 1 times a minus 1, it's a positive 1. And then these are like terms. I'm just doing it slowly for now. Then it's the x squared minus 2x plus 1. Next time, I'll just move from this, from that to that. So you should know I would have done this. All right?
Okay.
All right. So right-hand side, we now have x squared minus 2x and then plus the 1. And then the left-hand side, the 2 must multiply that, must multiply that. So I've got 2 minus the 2x equals to that white part on the left-hand side there. There we go. Now, like I said, we need to write the equation as x squared minus 2x, whatever. So I'm going to take whatever is bluish, I'm going to bring it to that side. So which means I'm left with 0. It's because I can see x squared, it's already positive. Well, you can take this and take it to the other side. It's still the same thing. Still the same thing. All right, so then I'm going to make it equals to, I've got x squared minus the 2x and then plus the 1. When the blue comes, it's now minus 2 and then plus the 2x. Now, like terms, when you look at the minus 2x and a plus 2x, they're opposite sign. They will cancel one another. So that will get rid of that. And then I still have 0 equals to x squared. When I look at the numbers, these ones here, 1 minus 2, it's actually a minus 1. Well, this 0 here, you can write it on the other side there. It's the same thing. So what I mean is, you can write it as x squared minus 1 equals to 0. Then from here, you can factorize or use a square root together. This is difference of 2 squared, but let me show you how to bring this one using a square root. If I take it that side, I've got x squared equals to 1. To get rid of squared, you must take square root on both sides. But we can factorize. I'll remind you how to do it. When you take square root that side, you write it as plus or minus. So the square root gets rid of the x squared. So your answer will be x equals to plus or minus 1. Remember the square root of 1 in a calculator, you can just press square root 1 equals to, you still get a 1, but it's plus or minus. If you want to write the answer separated, you can do that. So you can write x equals to -1, or you can write x equals to 1. Are we together?
Yebo.
All right. Now, here's the problem with this squaring both sides. Once you get the answers, you must always check the answers. You must check them if they will work. Check them using the equation before you square both sides. Before this. Let me put it in a red box because that is squaring both sides. Before you use the equation before the red box. All right, so let's test if I use -1. If the left and the right will be the same. Now I want you to see that. If I put -1 here, I put -1 here. So I've got -1, -1. So this side becomes -2. I know -1, it won't work. Let's check here if we're getting -2, because you'll put -1 there. There's a -1 there. So you've got 1 minus minus. Minus minus give a plus. So it's 1 plus 1, which is 2. So you're having 2 there. 2 times 2 is 4. The square root of 4 is 2. Remember, look at that square root. It's positive this side. They do not put a minus there. So your answer is 4. I'm sorry. Square root of 4 is 2. Sorry, not 4. The square root of 4 is 2. Let me type it in a calculator there. You have square root of 4, which is just 2, not minus. So the 2 and the minus are not equal. One is positive, one is negative. So we say now, when we use the -1, it's not equal. So that -1, we are going to scratch it out. We write not equals. You can scratch it out like that, not equals 2. Now we try the 1. When we try the 1, if I put 1 here, it's 1 minus 1. I end up with 0. All right, so let's try this other side. If I put a 1 here, in the brackets, I've got 1 minus 1, which is 0. And then 2 times 1, 2 times 0, it's 0. Then I've got square root of 0, which is 0. So the left and the right-hand side are equal when I use x equals to 1. So x equals to 1 is your only solution. That's how we do that one there. Okay, sorry about that. That one, it just jumped in there. Yeah. So you see,